You put petrol in your bike this morning, or maybe diesel. Maybe you turned on the gas stove and made chai. Did you ever think about where that fuel came from? Who sold it to us? And what we just promised, to stop buying it. Last week, two of the most powerful men in the world had a phone call. That one call quietly decided what you'll pay for all of this. And nobody signed a single piece of paper. February 3rd, 2026, a Monday morning, President Donald Trump posts online. He says he just spoke to Prime Minister Modi on the phone. He calls him one of my greatest friends. Then he drops the big news. India and America have made a deal. Right now, starting today, the extra taxes America put on Indian goods, cut from 50% down to 18%. But here's what India agreed to give in return. 1. Stop buying oil from Russia. 2. Buy $500 billion worth of American stuff. 3. Remove all Indian taxes on American goods coming in. All of them, down to 0. A few hours later, Modi posts on X. Delighted, he writes. Big thanks to President Trump for 1.4 billion Indians. The news goes wild. Indian ministers call it a historic day. And the stock market? It didn't go up, it fell. Now here's where things get weird. Because there is no deal. I don't mean the deal is bad. I mean, there's no paper. Nothing was signed. Nothing was written down. Reporters asked the White House for details. No reply. The trade office? Nothing. Experts pointed out right away, the American president can't even make these kinds of deals on his own. He needs Congress to agree. So what really happened on that phone call? And what did India actually say yes to? To understand why this deal matters so much, you need to know one thing about India. India runs on oil, and it's not even our oil. India uses more oil than almost any country on earth. Only America and China use more. We burn through 5 million barrels a day, and 85% of it, we buy it from other countries. We never had enough of our own. And the country that sells us the most, since 2022, Russia. India buys 1.5 million barrels of Russian oil every single day. That's more than 1 out of every 3 barrels we bring in. And here's why India kept buying it even when other countries told us to stop. It was cheap. Russian oil costs about $16 less per barrel than oil from other places. $16 per barrel times 1.5 million barrels every single day. That's not just a small saving, that's the reason your petrol is in 30 rupees more expensive right now. That cheap oil is holding everything together. And India just promised to give it up. Okay, so India is going to stop buying Russian oil and use what instead? Trump said 2 options, oil from America and oil from Venezuela. Let's start with Venezuela. Venezuela's oil is actually the right type. It's heavy and thick, the same kind as Russian oil. Indian factories are built to turn this exact kind of oil into petrol and diesel. But there's a big problem. Venezuela's oil business is broken. They used to make over 3 million barrels a day. Now, they make less than what India alone buys from Russia. Experts say it would take 10 years and billions of dollars to fix it. India needs the oil now, not in 10 years. Alright, what about American oil? American oil is a different type. It's light and thin. Indian oil factories are set up for the heavy, thick kind. Think of it like putting the wrong kind of battery in a toy. It can sort of work, but not well. You'd need to rebuild the whole machine. And then there's the price. American oil doesn't come with that $16 discount. It costs more, a lot more. Someone is going to pay for that difference. Guess who? Now, let's step back. Because this isn't just about what kind of oil fits in what machine. This is about power. In February 2025, Modi went to the White House. Big smiles, handshakes, photo ops, everything looked great. By August 2025, Trump put a 25% tax on all Indian goods going to America. Why? Because India was still buying Russian oil. Then came another 25% tax on top of the first one, 50% total. Indian clothes, medicines, tech services going to America, all getting crushed. Now here's something interesting. China buys way more Russian oil than India does. Way more. China didn't get punished. So why was India picked on? Some people who study this say it's because America has something India wants. India wants to sell to the American market. India wants to be the country where companies go instead of China. Trump knows this, and he used it. That phone call wasn't two equal sides talking. India was stuck. The tariffs were hurting. And this deal, whatever it really is, was the way out. Or was it the way deeper into the trap? Back home in India, people couldn't agree on what this deal meant. The ruling party was happy. The Home Minister called it historic. One minister after another praised the Prime Minister. The other side, they saw something very different. Sharad Pawar, a senior leader who usually speaks carefully, said he was worried about Indian farmers. If cheap American food starts coming in, how will our farmers compete? Congress members stood outside Parliament holding signs that said, PM is compromised. Inside the Lok Sabha, things got worse. Rahul Gandhi tried to raise questions about the deal and about what happened with China at the border. His mic was cut off. Papers were thrown. 8 members of Parliament were kicked out for the rest of the session. But forget the politicians for a second. There's a question that nobody has answered yet. If India stops buying cheap Russian oil and starts buying expensive American oil, what happens to the price of petrol, diesel, the gas cylinder your mother uses to cook food every night? What happens to the cost of moving food by truck across a country of 1.4 billion people? These prices hide inside the cost of everything. Your rice, your vegetables, your bus ticket, everything. And those hidden prices just got heavier. Here's the part that nobody on any side wants to talk about. This isn't about Russia. This isn't about America. This is about a problem that's almost 80 years old. Since 1947, since we became a free country, India has never had enough of its own energy. Not once, not under any government, not under any leader. In the 70s, world oil prices went crazy. India got hit hard. In the 90s, the economy grew fast. Oil use shot up, still buying from others. In the 2000s, we tried more sellers. Iraq, Saudi, Iran. We needed even more. And in 2022, when Russia offered us oil at a big discount, while the rest of the world was trying to punish Russia for starting a war, India didn't think twice. We said yes. Every 10 years, the name on the barrel changes, but the problem stays the same. First we needed Britain, then the Middle East, then Russia, and now maybe America. That's not rising, that's just spinning in circles. But here's where the India rising story really starts. Because India isn't just sitting around waiting. India is building more clean energy than almost any country in the world right now. Huge solar farms, the size of small cities, are going up in Rajasthan. Wind turbines line the coasts. The goal? 500 gigawatts of clean energy by 2030. Nuclear power is growing. Electric scooters and autos are selling like crazy, over 40% more every year. But here's the honest part. Coal still makes more than 70% of India's electricity. We'll probably need more and more oil until at least 2040. And electric vehicles? Mostly just two-wheelers and three-wheelers so far. The big trucks and buses that actually move things around the country, still running on diesel. The change is happening, but it's slow. And the world doesn't wait for anyone. Every year India doesn't make its own energy is another year someone else gets to control our prices, our choices, and our future. So, you filled petrol this morning? That fuel came from thousands of miles away, across an ocean, from a country at war, sold to us at a special low price that might go away soon, part of a deal that might not even be real, decided in one phone call between two men you'll never meet. India is rising. The numbers show it. The dreams are big. The people are talented. But a country that can't make its own power is a country that someone else can always switch off. The question isn't whether India buys oil from Russia or from America. The question is, when will India stop needing to ask anyone at all? That's the real India rising story. And nobody has written the ending yet. If this made you think, send it to someone who should hear it. This is India Rising. We tell the stories of a country that's growing, the wins, the hard parts, and the questions nobody is asking. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.